Today I'm going to teach you an Italian word, arrabbiata. That means angry. So today I'm going to piss off some pasta and make angry pasta, otherwise known as pasta arrabbiata. Stay tuned.
Hey, we're back on the pasta trail again today. And should that surprise you? Because a lot of what I cook is Italian. So we're going to do another one of my favorite pasta dishes. A very simple pasta dish. And that's pasta arrabbiata. And today, in this case, it's penne arrabbiata. And so what is arrabbiata? What does it mean? In Italian, it means angry. And now you're probably wondering, well, what's making the pasta angry? It's not really getting angry. It's not mad. But it's spicy. In fact, it's my basic marinara sauce. And all we're doing is spicing it up a little bit. One other thing that's a little bit different is I'm not going to mince up my garlic and leave it in the oil. I'm just going to bruise my garlic this time, flavor the oil, get it out of there, and then add my chili. So if you're familiar with Italian eating or Italian meals, it's broken into different courses. Antipasti, primi piatti, secondi, contorni, which would be a vegetable and maybe a potato that's served with the secondi, which is normally a meat. Then we go with fruits and cheeses, frutta e formaggio, and then you'd have a dolce dessert at the end. And that could be anything from a tiramisu to a cannoli to a little bowl of gelato. Now you're saying, wow, that's a lot of food. Not really when you think about it, because us Americans like it all on one plate. But the Italians space it out over time. And food and meals are not meant to be rushed in Italy. It's a time for the family to gather around and enjoy a wonderfully prepared meal and be family. It's not rush in, wolf it down, and on your way. And if you go over there, for those that have never been to Italy, and you're expecting the American style, sit down, bring it all out, and bing, a half an hour, 45 minutes later, you're out of there, it's not going to be like that. So don't be that ugly American that goes into the Italian restaurants over there and gets all huffy puffy when it's taking forever for all the food to come out, because it's coming out in stages. And that's how they digest it as well. You don't just woof it all down, inhale it, and now you're feeling huge and full. You eat it over a period of time, and you're not feeling so full. So in this episode here, I'm going to be making my penne arrabbiata as the primi piatti, the first plate. It's usually a pasta or risotto that comes out after the antipasti. Now, I'm doing a two-part episode. Today I'm going to show you the first plate version in Italy, and then in my next episode I'm going to add something to it to kind of Americanize it as an entree. Okay, so we're going to move on, and I'm going to just basically briefly go through the ingredients that we have for our pasta or penne arrabbiata. And it's very simple, very few ingredients. I've got a pound of pasta here, my penne, which once I get the sauce going, I'm going to go ahead and cook over on my stove over there. And then we have 1 clove of garlic that I'm going to bruise up. I've got some crushed red pepper that is going to make it angry. I've got 2 cups of tomatoes. These are our tomatoes that we got out of our garden this past summer, and which we froze. So it's nice to be using our own tomatoes. You could use canned tomatoes, canned crushed tomatoes if you wanted, or canned whole tomatoes, and you could go in and kind of break them up, crush them yourself. And some olive oil. So, very basic. Oh, one last thing. I've got some parsley over here as well. I'm going to chop up for the end. So, we'll be right back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to give it a smash. Remove it from its skin. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons 1, 2 of olive oil to my pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat up the olive oil, get my garlic in there, start to flavor the oil, add my crushed red pepper, and then you'll see how this kind of moves on.
Now that my oil is heated, I'm just going to go ahead and add my bruised garlic to the oil and basically swish it around the oil a bit, let it brown up, not over brown, and we're just flavoring the oil. Now normally in the past you've noticed that I've always minced up my garlic and left it in the oil, but not in this case. Now at this point I'm going to go ahead and add my crushed red pepper. Now this is all up to you. How much you put in is basically determined on how spicy you want your pasta. In this case I'm not going too overly spicy with mine because, well, my wife really doesn't like spicy food, so I'm kind of keeping this tame. Now in goes my tomatoes, and we're going to go ahead and bring this up to a simmer. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt and pepper, a pinch or two of salt and pepper into this, then get a lid on it, and I'm going to cook this down for about 12 minutes. There goes my salt and pepper, and just maybe a little bit more. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and put our lid on, and I'm going to reduce this down to a medium heat, and I'm going to simmer for about 12 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta going. Alright, so here's my pasta, and over to the pot that's going to go. And as always, I cook my pasta in liberally salted water. Now I'm about 4 minutes into my cooking time, my simmering time on my sauce, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove my garlic now.
Okay, so our time is up, our pasta is done, our sauce is just about there. Actually, our pasta is not done, it's got about another 2 minutes. I'm going to finish it off with my pasta. And our pasta cooked down a little bit more than I want to, so I'm going to use a little bit of this pasta liquid to thin it out a little bit. Bring this back up to a simmer, and what I'm going to do now is add my penne into my sauce and finish off my penne. Now I said I used a pound of pasta. Yes, I did cook a pound, but I'm not going to use all of it. Some of it I'm going to save to the side for another day for our lunch or something. We really only use about 3/4 of a pound for the 4 servings we're going to do. So go ahead and get our pasta in the sauce. I'm ladling it straight over. Too many instruments over here. There we go. Give this a little turn. This is smelling so good. I gotta tell you. I'm always telling you. The only time I ever smelled anything bad is when I was burning it. And I don't know. How many times has that been, Lori? Maybe 2, 3 times I've burnt something? I mean burnt where you could smell it upstairs. That's how bad I was burning it. Alrighty. It's nice incorporated in here. It's probably got about another minute to cook off. And we are going to be there. Oh, one last thing I need to add is my parsley. So let me just get this pan out of the way. Okay, now I'm just going to add some parsley to this. Give this, oh my gosh. I don't even need to taste this. It's gonna, I know it's going to be good. I can smell the heat. Believe it or not, I can. Yeah, I can. I smell the garlic that I did remove. The parsley, the tomatoes. There we go. She is done. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate this up. We'll give it a taste. And we'll wrap this up. Okay, so before I actually get on to tasting this, I just want to do my shout out. And if you hadn't noticed, I'm wearing my Maryland Mayhem pullover today. And so this shout out is going to all my Maryland Mayhem family. It's been a long off season for us, and we kind of ended things up last year in January, and we're hoping to get on the court, but unfortunately COVID kind of has us sidelined. And I know for many of you Mayhem out there, I know that you're chomping at the bit to get back on the court. I am too. And hang in there. You know, there's light at the end of this tunnel. So hopefully we'll be back out there crashing chairs and creating some mayhem out there. So hey, this episode shout out is the Maryland Mayhem. All right, let's taste this Penne Arrabiata. And it's gonna go in here. Grab a couple. Al dente, tasting good. You know, again, I'm back down in Naples, eating some great pasta at some mom and pop ristorante or trattoria, and it's got a nice spiciness. It's not overpowering, but it hits you right at the end. It comes up and says, "Hey, I'm here. I'm getting angry." Arrabiata. So hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, share. And don't forget, hey, hit my logo up here. If you haven't subscribed yet, it'll take you right directly to subscribe to our channel.